I seriously don't know how it took me the first 23 years of my life to realize this. When we were kids, we all wanted to be pilots, astronauts, and football players, right? There was no mental restriction about the life that was in front of us. And then slowly, as you get older, those raw passions are now traded for attempts to comply to the social norms and the rules that we see around us. And before you know it, you're telling your friends, yeah, my job sucks. But hey, what you're gonna do about it? I have this idea, this passion that I really think might work, but work. And it cannot just be me, right? To think how insane it is to feel unfulfilled in your work, but continue to have that be 1/3 of your life. While we live in a time where you really don't have to. We all have a simple choice. If we choose to monetize ourselves externally, then we will be living our lives in honor for something outside of us. It's gonna build up internal friction because we didn't have the balls to build what we wanted to build. So often you see these men become resentful as they get older. But then you have that second choice to monetize internally, which is your skills, passions that have always been present in your life, and to say, fuck all the noise around me. I'm going to deploy these passions and I'm gonna make it work no matter what. And there's absolutely no excuses, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why, and this is crucial for anyone to understand, and then also, if you're interested, how you can do this in an intelligent fashion. I hope you listen carefully, because this is probably the biggest opportunity for any man in this time. The world is desperately needing people to reduce information, let me tell you. Listen, the internet is still a wild west. About 10 years ago, we were still excited that we can Google recipes and that we have access to all this information. 10 years later now, we are physically overwhelmed by the information and noise in the world, to the point where we have breathing coaches, fucking breathing coaches and screen time coaches that are making 100, 200K a month, which both tells you that you can monetize anything, but secondly, how people are influenced by the overwhelming amount of information and garbage out there. And then to make matters worse, the short content revolution and this AI faceless channel revolution, just inspiring this autism and compulsiveness in everyone by scraping their last bits of dopamine that they need to build something in their lives. People are starting to become aware of it. People don't want this high stimulation bullshit anymore. People just want the right information, and it's out there, but we need people to present it to the right people. All this noise makes us hesitant to even access information, because when we do, we see 2,189 experts on the left and on the right saying the exact opposite, and they all have a course to sell that 2% even have the attention span to finish. It's exhausting. It's diluting the value of information, and that's why Edward O. Wilson, I strongly recommend this guy. This is why he said a while ago, "We are drowning in information while starving for wisdom. The world henceforth will be run by synthesizers, people able to put together the right information at the right time." I cannot say it better myself. So point one here, and why this opportunity and demand exists, because we need synthesizers, people who reduce information. Point number two, the world has woken up and it wants agency. Since the pandemic, people have realized that working on your own clock in freedom at home is quite enjoyable. And that's not only it, because if companies wanted these people to come back to the office, they would. Productivity went up as well. And here things started to move very fast. And this is just 4 years ago. A fundamental shift began towards online education. Free and paid educational content started allowing people to deploy the skills they needed to live and work however they want. Online education is giving back agency to people that want to design their own lives, and it works because it outcompetes the slow and expensive university programs on every single metric that matters. And the numbers of course reflect this, with the e-learning industry going from 200 to 300 billion since the pandemic, but this market being estimated to reach 1.1 trillion by the end of 2030. And at the same time, Forbes is calling e-learning the future. I attached all the links to the articles so that you can read them for yourself. So if people are flocking to online education to create the lives that they want, and there is a big demand for people that synthesize information, and so you might ask, why isn't everybody doing this? Well, there's a very simple reason for this. The undeniable demand isn't being met because of a story that's as old as time itself. Fear is compromising people's potential. Why? The urge to avoid rejection and to fit in with the masses and to walk between the lines is the simple reason why this is still an opportunity that exists, an opportunity that you can take. And this is especially true for men at the end of their 20s or up. We feel a little cringe about content creation. Your brain has fully crystallized, patterns are starting to become more rigid. And so while at the same time you are the person who has the knowledge, who has the experience, the expertise, you are very likely to succeed, but you're also exactly the man who is getting kind of stuck in his ways, and you just feel that creating content is cringe, that it's awkward, that it doesn't fit your age, and that very thing is why this opportunity still exists. You can be a 21-year-old guy talking about confidence, but you will just kind of fall into the guru category, you know, this what the hell do you know kind of thing. But when you actually have the experience, the expertise, maybe you have a skill that even helps people make money, but you're using it to make a company rich, then you are the ideal person to start doing this. Your terror of being judged by your environment is outweighing the infinite opportunity of skill that you would get if you started to share your work. Your freedom lies in your ability to go past these old patterns of just doing what is expected of you and doing what is normal or cool. And you know, it's not my job to convince you, but yeah, that's simply why this opportunity still exists. So while demand is sky high and supply is super low, that's why we have the supply and demand tension. You do the math, right? We all know Sam Ovens, right? He's literally speaking his mind about this. The future of information will consist of YouTube organic, he basically means long-form content, high-ticket courses and masterminds. That's the way that we dispose that information and how you get paid. We'll get into that in a second. And setters and closers. Those are the salespeople of the new world. For those endless reasons, it makes sense that you are interested in the how to do this part. So let's get into that. So step one is identify your value. There is 3 forms of value. On the highest level, you have expertise. Congratulations if you have some kind of expertise, especially if you can help people get quantifiable results, as in making money. Then for you, it's done. You just need to follow the systems and you'll make more money, more impact, and actually love what you're doing. Expertise very simply is the work you have done and the skills that work has acquired. Level 2 is experience. It is the pain you have overcome and the problems you have solved in your life. If you have this, you can start playing the game. I'll give you an example of how I started doing this in a second. And then your third source of value is passions. It is the undeniable, omnipresent themes of passion throughout your life. These 3 things is where you get your value. This is the starting point of the digital game. Then, step 2, list the problems that you can solve as solutions. So at this point, I will give you the example. When I started, I reflected on my experiences. And one problem that I solved came to mind immediately. It was the fact that I smoked weed for 5 years, became socially awkward as fuck, and for that reason I was struggling with dating. So I quit smoking weed, obviously, then started learning for free on YouTube from the Natural Lifestyles everything about dating and cold approaching. I started implementing those skills with dating apps and cold approaching myself, actually realizing that I was pretty good at it, and so I solved that painful problem for myself. Now I can list that problem in the way I solved it. That's step 2. Here are some examples. How I went from socially awkward to attracting beautiful women. How to attract women as an introvert. How to actually overcome your fear of cold approaching women. And I can go on and on and on. This already provides you with endless first pieces of content. It will help you understand who you are targeting and much more. This is where things are getting tangible. Then step 3, write out how you, in your unique way, in your special way, because you are you, how you solve that problem. So you can see it as a journey, right? Point A was, I sucked at dating, addicted to weed, blah, 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 blah. The end point was, I was completely okay with myself socially, attracting beautiful women. Now create for yourself the steps that you took to solve the problem. This becomes your actual client journey. And I want you to focus on the pains and the benefits. This step 3, this journey, is really about the pain points and the benefits, right? The emotional journey. Then as you focus skillfully on the pains and the benefits, you also give people the opportunity to resonate with you and to connect with you, which is very important both in content creation and on the monetization end, which comes after. And then most importantly, give away everything that you got for free. Do not hold back. Do not make the mistake that all these creators are making, sort of gatekeeping information, trying to act like a guru, presenting an image that's maybe not completely true. Give away everything about you and all the value that you can provide. And I'll tell you why you don't have to be afraid for anything is because people want all the value, and the only people that will pay for implementation anyways. Sure, there will be some freeloaders that will never buy your shit, but guess what? They would never buy your shit anyways. So separate yourself by providing insane amounts of value for free to the right people with your expertise or experience or simply the passion that you have. Everything for free. A great example of this is Alex Hormozi, who went from 0 to 8 million in total social media following. Granted, he has a huge team and he invests a shit ton of money into this, but the fundamental law remains the same, which is he went out of his way to give everything away for free. He provided a shit ton of value to the right people, and so all his business metrics on the back end exploded. Do the same thing and you will separate yourself from the get-go. Give everything away for free. And then step 4, and this is where you decide your fate, essentially. If you don't get past this step, then you'll keep doing what you're doing and you'll get what you're getting. If you do, then you will access infinite scale while doing exactly what you're doing right now. So, you guessed it. Level 4 is fucking film it. Look at step 2. Take one of these formulations that you chose. In my example, how to attract women as an introvert. Write the bullet points as the steps in how you solve this problem in your unique way. Face natural light. Turn on your freaking camera and start speaking as if you are giving a lecture to 10 people that willingly showed up to your lecture because they want to hear you speak on this subject. Imagine you're talking to them with passion and then publish that recording on YouTube using that very title that you already got in step 2. Allow your first videos to be bad and then get good. If you want more information, I built a free community because I'm fucking passionate about this, about getting you guys to make this leap and take this opportunity. Then, of course, how are you going to make money doing this? Once your content makes signal with an audience, people start engaging with your content, then this means that you are building emotional goodwill and demand. This goodwill and demand is like a growing piece of real estate in the minds of your viewers, as a result of you solving their problems and them relating to you. 2 things here. They connect with you, and secondly, you're solving painful problems. And so they will build relationships with you, which is very cool, right? In this world, we have these one-sided relationships, and then at some point they'll get on a call with you, like I often have, and you get to meet these people. It's awesome. It's a really cool part about this digital game. It's a positive appeal towards you that starts growing in their minds, which then accumulates into demand. Actual demand that exists that you then fill with your services and products. And if you want to play this game at the maximum capacity, then you want this service of yours to be leveraged. In one of the next videos, I will tell you more about this. The process of you creating content, making signal with an audience out there, and then filling that demand with a leveraged service can happen rapidly if you focus on serving the right people with insane amounts of value that make you obviously better than the competitors out there that are hoarding that information. That is the essence. Start bad, get good, you'll make signal because you're devoted to helping these people. You will build demand that will then fill with your leverage service. And at that point, the opportunities, the avenues that you can take are endless and they're all scalable. But most of all, man, beyond all this money talk, you will finally be doing something that is connected to you. You get to change people's lives on the subjects that you're passionate about, meaning that what is play to you is work to others, and it's the ultimate place to be as a man. This is really what it comes down to. If you're interested in all this and you just want to get this right in a short period of time, then inside the Synthesizer University will get you to 10K a month rapidly, and if not, you'll get a refund. We're about to start this cohort and we have only 2 spots left. So if this is you, you can click on the link and book a free strategy call with me. We'll just figure out whether this is something for you. Take care of yourself. See you in the next one. Cheers.